Welcome to Bridge Watch. I'm Corey Ranslem with Dryad Global. This week on the vlog, we are talking about the Somali area HRA termination. So for those of you who don't know, and I know we have a lot of very experienced fleet managers and mariners on here, but for those that are not too familiar with, there's a group of industry organizations that have come together that have formed a coalition to provide information to the industry when it comes to maritime security and piracy, specifically within the Somali HRA. This is led by an organization called BIMCO. There's a number of other organizations that are part of this. This was really formed back around 2009, 2010 timeframe to look at the piracy epidemic that was taking place off Somalia. There were roughly at that time, between 2008, 9, and 10, almost a piracy attack in this region taking place every other day. There was a point where there was obviously, as you know, thousands of seafarers who were held hostage. This area became designated by these organizations as a high-risk area. So what that meant is that vessels transiting through here needed to take extra precautions. The industry organization has decided that as of 0001 on January 1st of 2023, so coming up here in another couple of weeks, that this HRA is no longer needed and will become inactive. So a little bit of history, and the reason for this is because we haven't seen a significant pirate or security attack on a vessel in this region since 2018. There's been approaches, there's been other things that have happened in this area, but when we look specifically at piracy within this operational region, we have not seen an attack. This area was scaled down from its original HRA back in September of 2021. The organizations decided to narrow this, and now have made the decision and have notified the IMO that they're going to eliminate this region. So what does this mean for us from the captains and fleet manager and shipping standpoint? I've seen some chatter in different groups and organizations that I'm a part of that there are a number of companies that are still going to employ private maritime security companies as they transit through this region, as they feel that there is still a risk within this region. If you look at the document that was put out by the industry organization called the BMP5, or Best Management Practices 5, they have really kind of 5 key points that flow through in looking at this, and a lot of times we forget about this. So number one is to understand the threat. So if we're a shipping company and we're looking at a transit through this area, our first call realistically shouldn't be to a private maritime security company. What you need from a captain perspective, fleet manager perspective, is an unbiased evaluation of what's happening in a particular area. And it's not true just of the HRAs. There are a number of areas around the world that could be high risk that are not designated by the industry organizations as an HRA. So when you look at transits through different parts of the world, the first place you should start with is an intelligence information, a risk intelligence overview of that particular transit, of the departure and arrival ports that you're going to be going to, and really get an unbiased look of what's happening now, what's happened historically, but also the real-time view into what's happening as I'm transiting through this area, because things in the maritime environment are very dynamic and changing. So your first call should be to organizations that provide risk intelligence specific to the maritime industry. Dryad Global, we happen to be one of those companies that can help you put that unbiased view together. From there, everything flows down from that. If you understand the risk and a threat in an area, then you can conduct a risk assessment on your vessel. You can implement those protective measures, which may include private maritime security companies, and we can provide recommendations to you on that. There's a number that we work with globally that do a very good job of working with shipping companies, captains, and crew to protect vessels, whether it's cargo ships, cruise lines, or large yachts. In some areas of the world, it's good that there are reporting organizations that you can report information to or call for help if there is any type of an incident that takes place. And then the last piece of the BMP5 of these is really the cooperation, and to be able to cooperate and share that information and intel. And we do that with our clients, is provide information on what's happening in this region across our client group. So it's interesting to see, but it's not surprising that this HRA is going away within this region because of what has happened with piracy, which has been little or nothing. Now, there are still some geopolitical issues that are taking place within the region that you need to be aware about, whether it is off the coast of Yemen or as you transit further into the Middle East and up into the Persian Gulf. There are regional geopolitical issues that come into play, and so it's good, especially through this wider region, to have transit risk assessments, to have that risk and maritime intelligence information before you go, but as you are transiting. So that's really, if we look at it from the shipping perspective, is the so what for us is there are some companies that will still carry security teams on board, and that's their decision. Our recommendation is to take a look at this region and what's happening before making the decision to bring on a private maritime security company or to increase the security on board the vessel, because it may not be necessary for the time and the transit that you're taking through this particular region. If you have questions on how this may affect you, the real-time intelligence and information in this region, or some of the best management practices, if there's some help that you need, please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Dryad Global to help you answer those threat and risk questions, whether you're transiting this area or really any other areas of the world. Hey, thanks for joining us on our weekly vlog today. We really appreciate all of our viewers. Make sure you connect to us through our social media detailed in the comments section below. Also, make sure you sign up on our website. We have a ton of free content when it comes to maritime security, threat assessments, and risk intelligence. Also, join the conversation. We want to hear from you as we improve our vlog and our topics each week. So make sure you connect to us and join the conversation.